If there's a grand central station for ghosts in our area, it just might be Jonesborough. One of the legendary haunted houses is Gerald and Sue Henley's place, where the ghost of a previous resident, a 19th century woman named Mary, makes herself right at home.
I think it's a good spirit, I really do. It's a very mischievous spirit, really. And it's not here all the time. It just appears and disappears. It has not been here since last Christmas.
This is typical of houses built around this era. In fact, in Jonesborough, it's kind of a local story that every house over 50 years old is actually haunted.
But it's interesting. You never know what's going to happen.
A lot of spooky things have happened. Tools and paint cans have been moved, crossed silverware, things broken, things flying off walls, radios turned on by themselves. Now, most of the activity seems to be centered upstairs in the guest bedroom. Visitors say they sense things there.
Well, a friend of mine says that as she says, you're going to think I'm crazy, but she says, I see things in old houses. And she came up here and she was by herself, and she came back downstairs and she says, you're never going to believe this. But she says there is a young woman sitting in your guest room upstairs. Said she's sitting beside the fireplace, and she's sitting with her knees up with her arms around her knees.
Then there's the mystery hemmed in around this 1890s antique dress.
Every guest that has ever spent a night in this room says that this dress form literally moves across the room.
But Sue says perhaps the most frightening event is the night the ghost revealed a lot about herself to Sue in a dream.
She says, I'm here to tell you why I'm in your house. She says, my name is Mary, and she says the last place that my husband and I were happy was in your home before the war. This house was sold in 1863.
Now, Sue's totally convinced she shares her home with a spirit.
Oh, absolutely. I think it was her house before it was mine, and I don't know why she's still here, but I certainly respect her, and it makes for interesting stories also.
Now, not far from Jonesborough, along the Nolichucky River, just over in Unicoi County, you can gaze into the legend of the Devil's Looking Glass.
The looking glass, see all those crevices and little holes and stuff up in there? There's supposed to be evil spirits living in each one of those. Up there, about halfway up the cliff, is supposed to be a small cave, and there's supposed to be the demon with the iron finger lives in there. Has literally an iron finger, and he would poke through a person, but he would do very nasty things to them. Now, down the river just a little bit, there lived a witch, one of the early settlers, and she lived 200 years. Her name was Old Ms. Wilson, and she was supposed to have cavorted with these spirits. They were friendly to her because they never bothered her. Maybe they were afraid of her, who knows?
Should you be afraid? Who knows what evil lurks around the murky waters of the Nolichucky? Telling ghost stories in Cable Country, Tim Cable, Eyewitness News 11.